It's Ask Paul, and thank you for joining me. Let's see what we have on tap today. This is from Indranil Sen from Amherst, New Hampshire. Paul, I'm on the lookout for a good audiophile DAC. Wow, who isn't? And would love to hear your advice on the features, attributes I should be looking for when selecting or auditioning a DAC. And also, I'm interested to hear your feedback on the role of price, if any, in this selection process. Well, there's a loaded can of worms that we just kind of dump out here and let go. So, DACs, of course, digital to analog converters, are really the essential piece that we need to listen to digital audio. And if you are just starting in this, I can explain a little bit about that. A DAC is something that is found inside of a CD player. So if you go down to Walmart or something and you buy a CD player, or Best Buy, I guess, and you buy a CD player, inside of that are two components: a transport, which is the spinning mechanism and a laser that reads the CD or SACD or whatever you're listening to, and then a device called a DAC, which converts the digital audio data to analog. So if you'll notice at the output of your CD player, you've got analog outputs, and you've also got a little coax RCA connector that is called the digital output, which is just the output from that transport, avoiding the DAC. But most of us know what a separate DAC is because years ago, PS Audio, amongst others, were really the first to separate the DAC out of the CD player. And years ago, we made one of, if not the first, audiophile external DAC. And we did that so that you could get the very best attention paid to by engineering on that one specific task, which is the nature of separates. So we've been making DACs ever since they were first around, and we've been through, oh boy, any number of them. And I can tell you that the most important part about a DAC, number one, the analog stage, the output stage, how you are converting those digital bits to analog bits that a amplifier can use. Number two, the DAC itself, how you are actually doing that, the care that's been taken, the format that it's in, et cetera, which we'll cover in a sec. And then third, the power supply. Those are all very critical elements to a DAC. So if you go out looking for a DAC and you read on here that what's really special about this particular DAC is all these terms, like it does 192.24 and it does DSD and it does PCM, and you can find that in anything from AudioQuest's cool little Dragonfly, which was it, $50 or $150? I don't know, but cheap, and it's a good DAC. But its big deal, of course, is all of the cool digital stuff that it does. And then, yes, it has an analog output stage, but you can't put a ton of effort into an analog stage on a $150 USB stick. And they didn't, they don't, and we're not expected to think that they did. And that's no criticism of AudioQuest, because I think the Dragonfly is an awesome product. But it's not a direct stream DAC. It's not a DCS DAC. So there are any number of great DACs out there, and what you want to look for is to make sure that the DAC you're interested in handles the type of digital media that you are hoping to play back. And let's face it, most of us are playing back either streaming or CD. Now, add to that mix, the occasional high-resolution audio product that we're going to listen to. If you have one of our products, you might be decoding DSD straight off of an SACD. You have to decide what it is you want to do with this, okay? And most DACs, from the least expensive to the most expensive today, pretty much handle everything that you might want to do. So then the next step is to look and see what kind of output stage they have. If you look at one of our DACs, one of our direct streams, that's a very complex FPGA-based device which FPGA meaning field programmable gate array, and that allows us to program our own DAC and its functions into a very specialized kind of chip. And when we do that, we're able to do all kinds of cool stuff from our digital guru, Ted Smith. And we upsample everything to a very high level, whether it's PCM or DSD, regardless of the format. We convert everything to DSD. Ted runs his magic through his filters and all that and comes out with a pretty perfect DSD signal. And why is that important? If it's an actual DSD DAC, which ours are, then the output stage, the all-important output stage, is rather simple relative to what you have to do for a standard PCM-based DAC to convert it to analog. Okay, a PCM-based DAC, you've got to have a current to voltage converter, then you've got to have various low-pass filtering, and then you've got to have as good as you can analog output stage, which ranges from anything from massive tube stages to simple little op-amp stages to discrete devices. And in a DSD DAC like our DirectStream and DirectStream Junior products, there you have a very simple pulse density modulated output stage that all it really needs is a simple low-pass filter and something to raise the output up to a certain level and then make sure it's clean and out it goes. And I don't have time in these videos, and I don't want to make these too long, but those are the things to look for. Ask the manufacturer, what kind of output stage do you have? How much attention has been paid to that output stage? Because that's the key to what you want to do. And price, there are great sounding and performing low-cost DACs, and there are great sounding high-cost DACs. I don't think price really matters a lot. Go with the manufacturer. Get a sense of what they are into. And if it's music and musicality, then you'll probably be okay. And then just listen. All right. Thanks. Great question. Bye-bye.